Thank you, first of all, everybody, for turning up today in such large numbers. I didn't go mad on inviting everyone from everywhere, but thank you for all your support. Thank you for turning up. And I'm sure you will realize this is for a very good cause, something I'm very passionate about. So thank you for your support. Before we do... Thank you. Whilst we are on the thank yous, just let me say today was also put together with people from my team. So Rohan, a few people in my office, Raluca, who's helped as well, plus various other people behind the scenes. But more importantly, we've also got Alexandra, who's over here, who's helped me with a lot of press and PR, and Wana Chiva, who she's also here. So thank you all for your help and efforts as well. So far as sponsors are concerned, I didn't want too many sponsors for this at this moment in time because I'm focusing more of the charity collection on the post-sales events. So Marriott was kind enough, so I know Igal's somewhere, or he's left. So Marriott, thank you very much as well for sponsoring, helping with the room and drinks, and Magda is here. So thank you, Marriott. Thank you for Otto as well. So those people who order on the internet, I will be shipping the books out. So I will talk more about that later on. So Otto, who do courier service, they've helped as well for sponsoring this event as well. And Moksha, the Ayurvedic spa, again, part of my passion, which is a holistic approach to life. They've also contributed to this. So thank you, Moksha. Right. I think most of you know me, so this is pretty irrelevant, but I'll run it very, very fast. Those of you who don't know me, I was born in Kenya, brought up till the age of 15, 16, left Kenya, went to England, so went through a major change, did most of my studies, university, etc. over there, and then I left that career and went through various corporate life, large blue chip companies, Sun Microsystems, IBM, Siemens, just to name a few. And then I went to various parts of the world and worked in various parts of the world, either as an employee or a venture capitalist or a business angel or things along those lines. So ever since a very young age, I was an entrepreneur, and within 6 months of me finishing university, I'd opened up my first business, build a building and flats and things like that. But today is more about why I do this and what drives me as well. I then ended up in Romania, and that's another long story how I got here, but those who want to ask me, you can ask me later on. Some of the companies that I've worked with and why I chose to do this success book as well, I'll go into that in a second, but ranges from IT to banking to pharmaceuticals to retail to finance, insurance, and several other types of companies. So I worked with many, many companies over the last 20, 25 years in my career. I won't say how old I am. I'm 52, all right. Yes, I'm younger than you, Cabral. You don't look it. These are just some of the companies that I've worked with. I've been on the board of Scotland Yard to various banks and real estate companies in UK as well. What do I believe in what success is, right? A lot of us get rattled into, you know, success means how much money you make, or success means what kind of a house you have or a car you have and all that, you know. So everyone relates it to money, and I don't, you know. I say those are just the byproducts, you know, in the journey you're having. And to me, success is very, very much about, you know, if you want to go and achieve something, it's that journey, how you get there and what you put behind it with the full commitment, the full energy and the full enthusiasm and all those things. And, you know, people say, I want to be successful for this and I want to be successful that. And when I'm successful, I will buy a big house or a big car or boat or whatever it may be. I think about, you know, if you want to be successful, you know, really, really focus on how to be really excellent at what you're trying to do. So try and focus on this is my niche and this is what I'm going to be really good at. So if you focus on that excellence piece and say this is what I'm going to be excellent at, then, you know, success will kind of like follow and it will come looking for you rather than the other way around. Okay? For those of you who know me as well, one of my key passions is, you know, if you want to be successful, you know, it doesn't cost us to be nice to people, you know. you need to try and treat people with dignity, with respect, no matter who they are. You know, I mean, I walk in the Marriott from the bellboy to the general manager, and you know, I talk to everyone at their level. You know, it doesn't cost you anything. You know, so big people do not make other people look small. I always say that. So you know, one thing I find not only in Romania but also in India and places like that, a lot of people, you know, once they get to a certain level, they kind of like don't want to mingle or talk to people at a lower level with respect, and I think that's wrong, because it doesn't give you happiness, you know. Talking about happiness, what my definition of success and what my definition of happiness is all about is, you know, everyone at some point in their life should look at themselves and evaluate on that wheel. And I always do this wheel with most people I know or meet, and I say, every one of those quadrants you see over there, I mark myself. So in every one, so my career, how far I am, how far am I in the physical environment. What I mean by physical environment is, you know, I try and surround myself with people with positive attitude, positive energy, in a nice environment. And where there is a lot of that negative energy, negative environment, negative attitude, you know, it's just a "ce faci la revedere" kind of conversation rather than deep conversations, yeah? So I try and surround myself with that sort of thing. You know, the age-old saying, you know, if you hang around with sparrows, you'll be a sparrow, or if you hang around with eagles, you'll be an eagle, right? So that's the physical environment in that road. Personal and spiritual growth, you know, I don't want to be an evangelist over here about God and everything, but everyone should have some sort of a belief, you know? And in that, what I mean is you have to believe that there is someone somewhere that whatever you do on this earth, you want to make an impression when you leave. So when someone dies, just imagine, what do you want that written on my tomb or my gravestone or whatever? I will be remembered for X. It's a good exercise to do, by the way. And then you plan your goal around that, right? So if you want to be remembered for greatness or to be a great whatever, or for giving to charity or something, think along those lines. Friends, community, all of that is very, very important as well, because in that balance, you know, if you're alone, you get depressed, you produce negative results. Relationships, healthcare, I'll talk more about healthcare, social and fun. I'm not going to talk about the bamboo boa nightmares, but everything in moderation for me is good, okay? As long as it's in moderation. I see some people laughing at the back. And then every now and again, you should go through that, test yourself, how far do you stack up in each one of those, and then reevaluate it. And once you've achieved a good balance of that, to me that means success, and to me that means happiness, not just being rich, you know? Make sense? Yeah? Right, how do I get there? This is my recipe I did, I don't know, 25 years ago or something. In the early days, people must have heard of SMART goals. Yes, SMART goals? See lots of nods. I always called it smarter goals. So SMART means make it specific, M, measurable, realistic, time scales. But the E and the R for me is the big things, right? What I mean is, once you've set your SMART goal, like, I want to lose 5 kilograms by the end of June, so what? So that's a SMART goal. It's specific, it's measurable, it's got a time scale, it's achievable, yeah? But the E and the R, without that, I don't think you'll achieve your goal, right? So the E and the R, something that you're enthusiastic about, something with lots of energy. So you say, what if I don't achieve this? And put a compelling reason behind it. If I don't achieve losing this 10 kilograms, I will look like on the beach or whatever, right? So that needs to be strong, and that's your compelling reason. And if I do achieve it, I will look like this, and this is how I'll feel. And draw that picture, and that's the E. And the R is the reward. So if I achieve this, reward yourself. Human nature is, and I see a lot of women around, and you know, women are the classic example. They need retail therapy, right? So give yourself retail therapy when you've achieved a milestone, you know, because it does a world of good. It puts you to another system, and you feel, wow, I must go out and do this again, right? Let's get down to the book, because that's why we're here, okay? The reason why I did this book, first of all, one of the closest charities that I've been involved with for a number of years, And I see Cabral over there smiling, who knows me for the last 6 years, who's been involved in that, and I'll ask him to say a few words about that in a minute. But one of the most passionate things for me was, if we're going to change the country or change a community, the first thing you start is education of the kids, because the more kids that are on the street, the more kids that are doing nothing. And unfortunately, we have this Roma problem in this country where a lot of them don't go to school, and then because of the lack of education, generation by generation, we don't change the culture, the thought process, and we get more problems. So my way of doing this is, if you start at that roots level and educate people, then hopefully over the next generation or two, some of this will be eradicated. So that's why I thought, let's start a whole series of educational charities and books and things like that. And the funds that I collect from these go to those sorts of charities. I also had a guy, those of you who've seen the movie The Secret, or the book or whatever. So one of those guys in those 40 is my personal coach and mentor. I think everyone needs a coach and a mentor, right? And when I had a session with him, he was saying, you know what, Mru, you don't need to read or watch this movie because you're naturally good attitude, high energy, law of attraction, all this. You do it naturally. Why don't you write a book? I said, oh, me book? You must be joking, right? He said, no. Do it in a different way. Don't write the whole book. Do it like how we did The Secret. So get the best of the best, lots of entrepreneurs from around the world, collect them and make it unique. So it's not just one person speaking, it's various people's live examples. And this is what people lack and want to hear, many examples. So he says, we'll collect those together and we'll write the book. I said, wow, if you do this, then I'll put the money to charity. So here I am. And last but not least, my father, he was, my late father, he was a very, very, very big charitable guy. In fact, for the last 8 years that I've been living in this country, I never managed to get him over here, but I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, when I said I'm doing some charity event and I'm involved in another big charity over here, he got the flight and he came here. He didn't want to see how good or bad I was doing, but when he was to do with charity, he was doing it. So he passed away about 3 months ago, so I said, okay, now my first book I'll put it in his name. And I think Cabral's met him at that charity as well, right? And he can understand why. Why did I choose these two charities, okay? So I've done the Fiecare Copii pentru Școala și Grădinițe and all that, okay? So I've done those, and now what I want to do, and they are quite established now, so I want to move it to the next level. And two of the most passionate charities for me is kids coming at lower age, but kids who have not had the benefit of parenthood. So orphans, or something I'm working with Alexandra over here is, kids whose parents have gone to America or UK or wherever. They've immigrated and left the children here on their own to survive on their own, and they struggle, right? And there are many cases like that in Romania, not only with the orphans, but people who have the parents but have been kind of like neglected. So I'm trying to do things for them to make sure there is support and all that. And it's not a single man's journey. That's why every one of you can help, and I'll show you how as well. And the second one is at the other end, people who are terminally ill and they know that they're not going to make it unless they get some medication and unless they get some special care very fast. And again, in this country, for that matter, in most parts of the world, if you don't have the finances, those people generally get neglected and they die pretty quickly. So the hospice Casa Sperantei over here are doing a fantastic, fantastic job. And what they're doing is to make sure that the final days of these people at least are either made better, or ways of even curing them if it's possible, or even ways of elongating the process so they have a better life towards the end. So hopefully they die happily. Yeah, we all got to die someday. So based on those values, I said, okay, we need to write a book, we need to do something, and I've already committed the money, I think last September or something, and I said, okay, now I've got to either find it or I just take it out of my pocket, as one does for the last so many years, right? So the book has already hit number 2 and number 4, I think it was, or number 5 on Amazon. It was released about 3-4 weeks ago, And what I wanted to do was to buy my rights out, basically, for releasing it in Romania, or any sales I do through my connections, so I don't have to give them the money. Any money I make on this goes directly to the charity. Yeah, so it's already become a bestseller. So I want now to collect more for us to get it over here, rather than the publishers and all these other people. The authors that went around it have already, I mean, they've had CNBC, Fox, and various other newspapers, yes, various other places. They've had a lot of exposure, good talks about them, and it's giving live examples. So for those of you who've already seen it, I hope you find it beneficial. I hope you find it inspiring, motivational, and I hope you really do this. Take the first step and make the jump and actually take action. I'm here for every one of you. If anyone wants to ping me an email, Facebook, whatever it may be, just feel free. And if I can help in any way, by all means, just ping me a note, right? Most of all, this is how I'd like you to help me, okay? I've seen some of you have already made a donation. I'm selling the books at, I don't know, 60-something, 65 lei, including postage in Romania or UK. So we'll post it to you. But today, I think what I'm saying is, because it's a donation, you know, put whatever you want, more than 60 lei. So Cesar's already put 500, no, Cesar? 5,000, oh, thank you, bravo, Cesar. So that's the kind of stuff we want to see, okay? But more importantly, I would like all of us, and the reason why you're all here, we all have huge networks on Facebook, private emails, we have our own website organizations, we have our own social media presence. So I'd like all of us to really take an action and, you know, help push this and direct them there, or to the, actually, any additional monies where it's not for a book sale, we are going to put the hospice IBAN numbers and bank details, so the donations for larger than the 65 lei for the book sale goes there, and then our account goes directly into hospice as well. Yeah. The other thing I'd like is those who have websites, just get a rough feel. How many people have their own websites or are associated to some sort of a website? There's a few here. Bravo. And Cabral has 60-something thousand, so you're the man. All right, so I told him there's no such thing as free lunch, Cabral. You're invited here for something, all right? So for people like that, I would like us to promote it as much as possible, and then, you know, either put a link or a backlink. For those of you who know what that means, just put that, so hopefully people will come in and order and go to a good cause. What next? I'd like all of us and more, again, help with this. Register on that SuccessBook.info. I'm going to put more ebooks, more freebie articles, and lots of other help and educational stuff. Hopefully it'll help you. Hopefully you'll throw it away, or hopefully you'll share it, or whatever. But more importantly, I'm building this holistic approach to life as well. So I'll keep you updated on that, as well as the business that I get on that side. I've already committed X% will always go towards charity, yeah? And this is not a new thing. I've been doing this for many years, but it's only a few people, some of them are in the audience, have already been encouraging me that, you know, Mru, you do charity on the side and keep it quiet, but, you know, you should go out and talk about it a little bit and encourage and motivate other people to do it as well. And you know who you are nodding. Right, with that, what I'd like to do very briefly is, whilst the guys are changing onto a video, let's call on the big man, right? So, Cabby, can you just do me a favor? Do me a favor. Whilst we're on the talk of charity, say whatever you want. And make it clean for me, by the way.
Cred că deja toți cei care sunt aici îl știu pe Mru. Eu îl știam în primii ani, atunci când l-am cunoscut, drept indianul ăla care ne scoate din bele. Pentru că atunci când susții show-uri de caritate, știu că este un termen ciudat, dar așa se numește, așa este, un show de caritate, atunci când ai o gală de prezentat, când ai o gală de susținut, când ai o licitație de susținut, este foarte greu. Foarte greu pentru că oamenii vin în primul rând pentru a fi văzuți, în primul rând pentru a fi văzuți și în primul rând pentru a fi văzuți. partea cu datul banilor este o chestie secundară care la un moment dat s-ar putea să-i prindă. Ca să-i prindă ai nevoie de câteva ancore, de câțiva oameni care vin acolo nu ca să fie văzuți, ci pentru a ajuta și pentru a face lucrurile să se miște. Individul din imagine este una dintre cele 3 ancore care de-a lungul celor 7 ani de show-uri de caritate ne-a scos de foarte multe ori din belea. El este cel care știe să fie jucător, care știe să ridice miza unei licitații cu strigare și atunci când ceva nu funcționează, te duci la indian. Și are un stil foarte, foarte bun, nu știu, e psihologie, e cunoașterea psihologiei maselor sau... Nu-mi dau seama ce e. Cert este că atunci când o licitație s-a blocat undeva, bine, ok, are și bani. Ăsta e adevărul. Are de unde să susțină licitația, să o împingă mai departe. Dar știe că în momentul în care s-a blocat, cum și cu cât să liciteze, astfel încât oamenii să se arunce la mai mult. Am strâns de la câteva zeci de mii până la câteva sute de mii. Vorbesc suma strânsă la un singur eveniment de caritate și aproape de fiecare dată, de fiecare dată Mru a pus umărul și de câteva ori a contat foarte mult. De-aia sunt acum aici, pentru că sunt unul dintre cei pe care îi pomeneam mai devreme, cei care l-au împins de la spate să înceapă să vorbească mai tare și despre caritate, acțiunile de caritate pe care le face și le susține și despre ce poate el face și ajuta. Eu sper că cartea asta e doar primul pas și că va face mai multe, că duci și poate.
Whatever he said. Thank you, Cabral. I don't know what he said. I think I got 5% of that. 5%. I like your shoes, Cabral. Nice and pink. Goes with the shirt. You should take up acting someday, Cabral. Very good. Right. Next person I'd like to call is Christina from Hospice. And what we're going to do is just show you a quick video on Hospice. And followed by that, Andreea, if you can be ready as well.
About Hospice Casa Sperantei, 2012 is our 20th anniversary year. We are more than glad that during these 20 years of taking care of kids and adults with life-limiting diseases, we succeed to offer free care, so no charge care, for more than 17,000 patients. And in the same time, one of our main direction of development was for Romania, education of palliative care, so hospice care specialists. And we are proud that during this period of time, we educated more than 13,000 doctors and nurses in this field. And one of our main preoccupation is not only the patient, but also the family. So we take care of what cancer or other life-limiting diseases means to family, so traumas of kids losing their moms, or moms losing their kids, or losing a brother, a father, or I don't know, a husband and a wife. So for us, it's important to take care of family and to take care of healthy kids, of a family that passed through this fight with cancer in the end of the life period. And for us, this 2012 means that we will start to build an hospice, so an unit with beds even in Bucharest, because 20 years ago we started in Brașov. And right now in Bucharest we have only home care unit, so we have doctors that take care of patients in Bucharest for every week. They make visits and talk with families, and among doctors we have a lot of specialists, like, I don't know, psychologists or kinetotherapeutes or other specialists, depending on the family needs. And for Bucharest, it's important to know that more than 5,000 people with cancer died without care every year. And Bucharest need a hospice and need 230 beds. For us, is a mission and a struggle to complete this building, so to take care of more than maybe 1,700 patients extra every year, because this hospice will have more than 30 beds. And even these donations that Mr. Patel told you about it in the beginning of this evening will go there, will help us to help others, so to give support to kids and to adults. And I want to thank everybody that contributed to this, because it's not about having success as an NGO after 20 years. It's also having friends. So our first mission is fundraising and then fundraising. And with our friends, I think that we will succeed to finish the hospice. So thank you, Mr. Patel, also.
Thank you, Christina. Just to give you some figures, the Bucharest project was started, the fundraising, I think Graham came to me 3-4 years ago, I can't remember. And it looked like a very big mountain, 6 million. He says, we need 6 million. I said, oh my God, where do we collect 6 million from? You know, the guys have done a fantastic job. They've already secured 4.7 million, right? So that is amazing. That's a great achievement to get 4.7 million collected in a very short space of time to build the Bucharest project. So they're short of about 1.3 million now, and I'm very confident that you know, they'll get it within a year, I hope. And we are all doing various workshops to try and see how we can accelerate some of that. Christina said earlier on that hopefully we're breaking ground sometime this year as well. In May. Wow, 2 months, less than 2 months. So good luck, well done. Yeah, so for those of you who didn't get it, basically what they do is where someone's terminally ill, they get free service in one of these hospitals. I mean, that's amazing, you know, that's not many places in the world that does that. Right, the next person, another close thing to my heart is orphans. I've done various orphanages, types of charities, but Cabral and Andreea, Andreea is Cabral's better half, for those of you who don't know her. So Andreea and Cabral do a lot of good work. They do a lot of good work. They don't jump and shout about it, and I think they should do the same thing. They should take some of their own medicine trying to tell me to jump and shout. They should do the same. We should go and publish it a lot, and we'll see how we can work on that. And they actually, you know, it brought a tear to my eye when I heard that they actually take the time out and collect the goods and parcels, and during Easter or whatever it is, and they physically go out, load vans, and actually by hand deliver it to the kids and things like that. So it's very good for both of them, who have such hectic lifestyles as well, to go out and take time to do this. Again, it goes to that well-balanced happiness life thing that I believe in. So I said, wow, whatever you need, let me know, and we'll help. So with that, I'd like Andreea to come up and say a few words about Zâmbesc și Suflet. Thank you, Andreea.
Bună ziua! Numele meu e Andreea Ibacka și, așa cum spunea și Mru, prietenul nostru apropiat, drag nouă, alături de Cabral, soțul meu, am înființat această asociație Zâmbesc și Suflet din dorința de a ajuta copiii orfani din centrele de plasament, dar și bătrânii din azilele de bătrâni, oamenii fără adăpost sau copiii cu un potențial real educațional, sportiv. Ne-am implicat, deși suntem încă la început, ne-am implicat în mai multe acțiuni. Chiar recent am încheiat o acțiune numită Mâini care zâmbesc. Am distribuit atât în București cât și în alte județe ale țării 5.000 de cozonaci către copiii din centrele de plasament, așa cum vă spuneam. Și bucuria pe care ne-o aduce zâmbetul de pe chipul unui copil sau unui bătrân fără alt sprijin și alt ajutor, cred că este mai mult decât 1000 de cuvinte și ne face plăcere să fim aici alături de dumneavoastră. Îi mulțumim lui Mru pentru inițiativa lui și abia aștept să-i citesc cartea pentru că sunt convinsă că avem câteva sfaturi de urmat acolo. Așa cum spunea și el, banii aceștia vor ajunge la copii, așa cum au făcut-o și de Crăciun atunci când le-am adus bucuria și pe Moș Crăciun la ei acasă, practic. Sper să le putem face o bucurie cel puțin la fel de mare și acum de iepuraș și vă mulțumim vouă tuturor pentru că faceți lucrul ăsta posibil.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Cabral, for the... I heard it was good words about me, so thank you about that as well. I'll get the video and translate it and then get you. Right. With that, what I'd like to now do is bring this to the close, and by all means, there's some canapes and some drinks and all that available. Those of you who want to do some donations, the boxes are over there. If you want your books personalized, I'm here to sign it for you. Take contact details, network, and have a good time. Thank you very, very, very much for all those who've already donated, and thank you for your support, and I hope you all help me publicize this a little bit more to collect a big mountain that we have for hospice, but more importantly, also the Zambești Suflet, we need to buy a van, so we're going to try and make sure that happens this summer as well, right, Kabi? We will. No, hopefully we will. Be positive. All right. Thank you very much, and drinks are on the house, as they say. The inspiration of this book was through a very good friend and a coach of mine, and he's from the movie The Secret, and he said, just like how we've done the movie, why don't a few of you top entrepreneurs get together and write about your own personal tips, tricks, habits, whatever you have is your own recipe for success. So about 30 of us got together and we each contributed. Rather than one person writing the book, we thought, if 30 brains get together and done a unique way of representing each person's real life experience rather than, textbook type of experiences. So it's about 30 of us, and I'm the co-author. The main author, Matt Morris, he's a multi-millionaire, and he's also done several other books and various startup businesses like myself, and that's how we know each other from other startup businesses. So the book is more about, personal secrets of how people are successful. For me personally, I talk a lot about happiness and success, and it's all to do with passion and attitudes of how you interact with people, and not to chase success but to chase excellence. Because if you chase success, then you are looking at just a financial angle of doing something. What I talk about is with passion, do something and do something really, really well, so you're so good at it that success will come to you. And I also talk a lot about money not being the only driver for success. Because if you have total happiness, you will achieve more and you will produce more. So in every aspect of your life, from friends, family, society, charity, spirituality, and all those things. So when you bring it all together like that, and then you focus on making sure you address all of that in a what I call a balance of life, then you will achieve success. When we first started this with Matt, the whole project, he's hit number 1, number 2, on almost all of them, right? And this was within a few weeks we hit number 4. So I don't know what it's sitting right now, but I think what we've said on this one, and it was me pushing what I wanted. So I said, forget Amazon and all that. I don't want to give the money to anybody. I want to do this thing for charity. So I want to buy the rights for me, and whatever I make through myself, I'm going to give it to my charity. So I don't want to push it through the Amazon type of sites. I've been doing that for the last 8 years in Romania, and urge everybody to do that. I was not public about these things in the past, but some very good friends of mine, especially in the TV and all that, and you heard Cabral earlier on today, talk about me. I know him for 7-8 years in charities. And he always says, you know, Mru, you should stand up and talk about this, because a lot of people in Romania don't generally give money to charity. And you should inspire them, motivate them. Why? So for me, what I look at is, you know, kids that are young, if you educate the children, then the future of the country will be better. So you don't have some of the problems that we face with some of the Roma kids and things like that in this country. So when you educate them, hopefully the next generation and the generation after will have a certain level of education that will eradicate some of the issues that we currently have in the country. So I'm very much into making sure some of these kids are educated, and also I'm very much into charities where there's orphanages, and you know, people not through their own reasons, but parents have either been separated or been abused or things along those lines, or parents who've left the country and neglected their children here. So these are the people who need to be taken care of. And then on the other spectrum, my other passionate charity is people towards the end of their life. You know, they don't have a say. You know, sometimes they have illnesses which they cannot help, and often they can't pay for curing these illnesses. So we're building a hospice, Casa, Sperantei, and this charity will give free of charge services to make sure that the final years of whoever's got the illness, you know, is in peace, so they can live a nice life towards the end, at least, with some good memories. And the Zimbeshi Sofle with Cabral and Andreea, that's to look at some of the orphanages, you know, to make sure you put a smile on some of the kids as well, because the look, feel, touch side of life for children is more important sometimes than just giving money as well. In the charities, these are the two main ones. I'm also involved with an orphanage in Letcano, and I'm also involved in a Blue Heron project where I coach, mentor some children, just to name two. In terms of the books, I'm looking to release 2 more books. I'm looking to open up a holistic health and wellness center, and that health and wellness center will also contribute towards the hospital, you know, also contribute towards the well-being of some of the orphanages, and also the profit I make will go towards these charities as well. Key message is, you know what, no matter how much you can give, do that. Sometimes it's not only money that people need, it's just physical help, collection help. People have so many contacts, you know, whatever they give, you know, contribute, donate, be it small monies, be it clothes, be it food, whatever it is, but at least do something. Don't just ignore the issues, yeah? And try and do remedial things, meaning, you know, try and fix the problem, like education. So if you can spend half a day a year or 1 day a year, and you multiply thousands of people doing this, soon you will have people going out educating kids on what they know, and this is sometimes important as well. So time is important as well.